On the far west side of Ponyville, just off of Main Street, lies a dark secret. Strategically positioned just after the main entrance of the town, but inconspicuous enough that you would have to be looking for it to find it. It's what you might call the underbelly of Ponyville. Sourceidle Street. To be blunt, this is the street for hookers, druggies, strip clubs, sex shops, and just about anything else you can think of that you wouldn't expect to exist in this seemingly cheery town. For example, the establishment I run. The sign that displays my establishment's name is in a sultry font. The door has a flashing neon sign that says, "Phillies, Phillies, Phillies." Posters are plastered up all over the windows, and there are at least 17 XXX stickers on the storefront. Yep, the Maryborough is a porn shop. The atmosphere inside is a pretty strange one. The back half of the store is lit by a few overhanging fluorescent lights, illuminating only 4 shelves of suspect material with their sickly yellow light, while the front half of the store is lit only by a few candles shaped like lighters. I never really liked the light, how those old lights shine, but maybe I should change the front half of the store a bit. I've had more than one customer walk out of the store in a jiff because they thought some crazy occult business was going on. Or, at least, that's what the doctors told me. I reach behind me and grasp my freshly opened cardboard box. It contains 12 little sticks of heaven. Well, make that 11. Damn those unicorns. They could just imagine their cigarette is on fire. Lo and behold, it is. Hooves are not the easiest thing to light something with, I'll tell you that. Good thing I have a few years of practice under my belt. I look at my reflection in the little mirror on my desk. Yep, still the same ash-gray earth pony. Same gaunt face. Same black mullet mane. If I could see my flank in the mirror, I'd still see the same unkempt tail and the same cutie mark. I still think Celestia could have been more creative with it than triple X's. Right now, it's 2 a.m. in the morning. Almost closing time and just a little bit past peak hours. Though, peak is an overstatement in any sense of the word, since I only got around 5 customers tonight. In fact, I bet I can shut up shop early. I groan as I lift myself out of my chair, and go and lock the front door. I pass by my new business cards on the way upstairs, also the doctor's idea. They display my name, Slyclop, prominently, though I can't say I'm very proud at it. What kind of dad names their only son Shady Fuck? Thanks, Pops. May you rest in peace. I turn those sickly yellow lamps off as I walk upstairs to my excuse for a living space. Simple mattress, which smells like it hasn't been washed in months. It hasn't. A low-end computer on one side, along with a half-broken chair, and a mini-fridge on the other. Bathroom's downstairs. I put up my cigarette in my bedside ashtray and quickly hop into bed. Wasn't a very exciting day today, and it isn't usually on the days where I don't go to Hardcider's Gentle Colts Club. The doctor and I alternate the late night shift, which means tomorrow won't be as monotonous. I hope. Well, I'm sorry things had to turn out this way, but I've come here to say I quit. Well, that wasn't the start I was hoping for today. I just woke up 2 minutes ago to find my only employee, Dr. Hooves, sitting at the front desk, and I thought he had come to do my shift in hopes of earning some extra bits. Hooves, I said, what kind of half-assed idea do you have now? Said Hooves. It's not Hooves anymore. It's Love Doctor. Oh boy, here we go again. The doctor has some crazy idea that he's one of the most respected play colts in the entire town. Truth is, he's just a better-than-average drunk who's gotten with a mare or two who was more drunk than he was. Okay. Love Doctor, I said. What does this have to do with you quitting? It has everything to do with me quitting, exclaimed the doctor. Celestia gave me a gift when I came to this world, and that gift is these magic hooves. Wait, what? Yep, another half-assed idea. I'm serious, Sly. These hooves have sent many a man begging for more, and now I think I'm going to put that skill to use. The love doctor's counseling for stallions. I can see it now. So, let me get this straight, I said. You're going to make people pay you to have to talk about how to pleasure a filly? That's right, Hooves said right back. Just think of how many lonely stallions there are in this town. I sighed and turned my head towards one of the shelves. The doctor definitely has gone off the deep end now, considering you just have to walk outside to see that mares outnumber us stallions by at least 5-1. This plan makes about as much sense as the Hydra on Hydra DVD I'm looking at right now. It sometimes amazes even me what's stocked in the obscure fetishes section. Okay, well, if you think this is a good idea, Hooves, I have no way to stop you. I'm not your boss anymore. Thanks, Sly, Hooves happily perked. Now, about this final week's pay. Yeah, here it is, I said, unlocking the drawer in the desk with its key. That's another thing that unicorns can do so much more easily. Hard to try and hold on to the key with your teeth and get the drawer open when your eyes are an inch or two away from the thing. I hoofed the doctor's last paycheck. He grabbed it in his teeth and merely hopped towards the doorway. He opened the door, and just before going back out onto the street, turned around and yelled, "Wish me luck!" Huh? I said. Yeah, sure. Good luck. The doctor closed the door behind him and trotted away. You'll need it. Well, that was a great start to the day. 9 p.m. 9 hours on the shift. If the doctor hadn't quit, he would have relieved me 2 hours ago. I had gotten a few customers a day, mostly nervous stallions. Big Mac had come around to pick up the latest DVD in the Cock-a-Doodle-Doo series. He's as giddy as a school filly when the newest one of those comes out. Kinda scary to see a guy as big as him skip out the door. It's just porn. Snips and Snails had also tried to trick me again, as they had on many occasions, but I've never actually succeeded in doing so. Don't they know the trenchcoat mustache stand on one another's shoulders trick is the oldest in the book? Even my pops face that one once every 2 weeks or so. I've gone through more than half of that pack of Marlboro cigarettes I started on last night. I can't mind the store for another 5.5 hours, or else I might just suffocate from all the smoke. My pops kinda named the store after those cigarettes, though, so it might be expected that the store smells like 'em. Still, damn it. Even if it just hurts business further, I'm going to the Knife and Apple. Grab the keys, lock the door. Damn those unicorns. Walk across the street, and I'm there. Not very conspicuous from the outside, just a little wooden sign flapping in the warm summer wind with a knife laying beside an apple, and the place's name written in mahogany on a pretty fancy sign on top of the doorway. The bouncer nods as I walk in. I'm one of Hardcider's closest buds, so he gave me a lifetime free membership here. I'm pretty generous at the tap, anyways. Open the door, down the steps. Fun fact, my dad died here. Wasn't anything violent, just drank too much and fell down these stairs. I was only barely old enough to run the shop. As strange as the codger could be sometimes, I did care for him. But I've learned to put the past behind me. The stairs didn't actively try to murder him, anyways. They're pretty swanky carpeted ones, too. Probably never had a bad thought in their life. Or any thoughts, for that matter. I arrived at the bottom of the steps, and Hardcider waves from the bar. A distant relative of the element of honesty, he is, though he's not the most respected member of the Apples. A few of the regulars are already seated there, and one of the regular strippers is pole dancing in the back to a pretty sizable crowd of stallions. Of all the places on Soresaddle Street, the Gentle Colts Club that is the Knife and Apple is one of the only ones where business is doing well. Hardcider's tawny coat shined under the warm light of the fancy lights above him. "What'll it be, Sly?" he asked. "Just the usual Applejack Daniels No. 7 side," I responded. And no, it's not named after the element of honesty. Named after a great uncle. As Side went to get the bottle, the head of the Pegasus sitting next to me turned towards me. One of the regulars, she was, and one of the only females that ever come back a second time. She started talking in her normal raspy voice.
So, how is the Marlboro doing these days, Sly?
She took a sip of her martini as she finished her question. Could be doing better, I replied. I looked her up and down. Her cyan coat looked like she hadn't washed in at least a week, and her multicolored hair had also seen better days. Yep, Rainbow Dash was not the mare she used to be.